Hello everyone, Republic Jim here. Just back for another stroll in the snow and wanted to revisit a topic that I discussed over 3 years ago. Back, I think it was March of 2021, I did a video called Get Comfortable Being Uncomfortable. And for some reason, when I uploaded it to YouTube, it totally corrupted the audio and had horrible noise in it. And it was just about unwatchable. But at the time, I didn't know enough about editing to redo it. I just left it there, and virtually nobody watched it anyway, thanks to my small channel and YouTube's algorithm. I think it had a total of 10 or 11 views or something, which is just laughable. But at the time, I was also posting videos to Rumble and Odyssey, and it was more effort to cross-post those, and really wasn't worth the effort because those channels I hardly got any views. But for some inexplicable reason on Odyssey, that one actually took off and got a fair amount of views. I think it's currently just under 700 views, which I realize is still a very small amount, but considering that most of my videos on Odyssey literally had single-digit views or occasionally double-digit, 20 views of a video on Odyssey was a big deal for me. So the fact that it got up to almost 700 was very strange, but I'm not sure why that one was popular on that channel. But anyway, I'll put a link to the Odyssey one down in the description if anybody's interested in watching that original one, because the audio on that one came through just fine. Still not great because I was in my car and there's wind noise and everything, but the basic point that I was making in the video was about the benefit of doing different things that are uncomfortable and getting mentally and physically to the point where that is doable. I just see a lot of benefits, and especially for preparedness, but just in general, being able to deal with hardship in life is a whole lot easier if you don't just constantly try to make everything as comfortable as possible. So, there's carryover from one thing to another. If you get mentally tougher, then it makes all sorts of difficulties easier to cope with. So, a couple of things I mentioned about in that were like cold adaptation, which, as you can tell, I've continued to do in the years since then. I mean, it's not really all that cold right now, it's above freezing, but I still like to work at just doing things where the average person, if they haven't done cold adaptation, would be in danger of hypothermia. And I can continue to wander around in cold weather for quite a long period of time and not shiver. And in fact, right now my armpits are a little sweaty because my torso is generating warmth. I talked about going barefoot, toughening the feet, and getting to where you're able to handle more challenging conditions, because there could be a time where you need to walk barefoot on bad conditions and stuff. And then you can combine the two and do cold adaptation and barefooting. Get your feet used to cold as well. But then, I discussed various other possibilities, and I think I mentioned in that video that a tough one for me is going without food, because I really enjoy eating. I've always had a big appetite, and going for any period of time without food is tough for me. So in the interim there, since I did that video, I've been doing intermittent fasting for over a year. I decided that was something that I needed to work on, and I'm just doing, for the most part, 2 days a week. And I started out just not having anything to eat until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then having like a late high protein lunch, and then a normal dinner. And over time, I'm gradually working on pushing that time frame back. More often now, I'm going until 4 o'clock, and my goal is to eventually get to where I don't eat anything all day until until dinner time. And I'm not so much doing that for the weight loss like some people do, but it's more just for health benefits, and then for the just the mental discipline. And I find that once I get past a certain point during the day, then it actually gets easier. I do drink a fair amount of coffee on those days, and of course lots of water and occasional green tea. But yeah, other than the liquids, I don't take in any calories. All the coffee I drink is black. And as I'm able to push it back further, and not eat until 5 o'clock or later, then I think I'll be in a pretty good position there, where, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable, but I can deal with it, and I'm getting a lot better at functioning when I am hungry, and not being irritable or having the difficulty focusing that I used to. So I think that's a very useful thing. So, and then speaking of coffee, that is sort of the next thing that I think I need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable about, because I realize that I do definitely have a caffeine addiction. I drink quite a bit of coffee on a regular basis. So I'm planning in the coming months to work at having occasional days where I don't drink any coffee. I'm sure I'll have headaches and jitters and things for a while, but I want to get to where I can overcome that and just keep functioning well. And I think that would be very beneficial to me. Much as I enjoy coffee, I need to be at a point where I don't have to have it to function. So that will be the next thing that I'm working on. But anyway, there of course are many other examples, and I'm sure people can think of their own things to work on. But like I said, I keep working on doing uncomfortable things to where it doesn't really bother me, and I feel like that just makes me a stronger and more useful person no matter what life throws at me. So hopefully that is interesting or informative to some of you. And if anyone takes up the challenge and decides to make some changes in their life based on that, and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, then that would be great. Let me know what you think down in the comments. This has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.